Hi everyone, it's Luisa Mauro with Luisa Mauro Real Estate. Today I'm going to talk about the importance of disclosing when you are selling a property. There are three areas that we find that sometimes sellers don't disclose this the way it should be done. So the first is when you're selling a property that's located in an HOA, it is really important to, one, disclose that it's in an HOA to a buyer for a couple of reasons. This is because there are always dues associated with an HOA, and it's important that a buyer understands the dues and the financials about an HOA. In addition, there are always regulations that are within an HOA as well. And I just think of a past story with one of our clients where she had a type of breed of dog that some condo communities would not allow. So it's really important for her to see those regulations up front to know whether her dog would be accepted. There was no way she was going to buy a home without her dog being able to go with her. And had she not received these disclosures from the sellers of these condos located in an HOA prior to moving forward, she could have gone under contract for one of these condos and then terminated for a reason that could just have been avoided altogether. She would have never moved forward or wasted these sellers' time. So it's important to have these documents ready to disclose for buyers. Also, when you're selling a property that's located in an HOA, there are fees associated with selling. So it's also important to know up front, what are these fees? Because it is very typical that sellers pay the majority of these fees. And when you know in advance what they are, these fees can also be negotiated possibly with the buyer when they submit an offer. The second item is the seller disclosure. Now, sellers are often familiar with this because all states regulate a seller disclosure. But the question we get is, what do I exactly need to put on it? The biggest question people ask is, well, I made this repair a couple of years ago. Does it really matter that I put it on the disclosure? And the answer is yes. This is because when the buyer is having their inspector come through the house and the inspector sees that there was something that was repaired and the buyer wasn't aware of it, it is going to cause more concern for them. They might be thinking, are there things the seller is hiding? So when you've made past repairs, put it on this disclosure. And keep the receipts as well. That's always so valuable for a buyer. Also in disclosing, if there are repairs that you know should be made, especially mechanical, structural, really any repairs, put them on the disclosure as well. This way the buyer knows this when they're moving forward with your property, and it's not something that they're likely going to terminate about down the road. And the last item is the lead-based paint addendum. If your property was built before 1978, it is important to provide a lead-based paint addendum. This is because prior to 1978, paint was often had lead in it. After 1978, it no longer does. And so this addendum, that is a disclosure as well, to buyers needs to be given to them in advance so they're aware. There's also a pamphlet that's provided to the buyers as well when the lead-based paint addendum is given to them. Now, your realtor is likely going to tell you this and cover it, and it won't be something you even think about, but just in case, I like to mention it. Please email, call, message us, let us know anything that we may answer regarding to disclosures.